this morning at the studio where they can look at the voter registration exercise where they begin on the 3rd of September, go through to the 4th of October this year. And on this coming Saturday, the voter registration exercise start. We tell on us today we can look at them and Radio Democracy designed this program for do education to the public as to waiting you suppose for know where you they go do your voter registration and the importance of the voter registration to citizens them and the country at large. All of that we can look at the program this morning. And for Can Talk About Dancing and Day, I want for welcome with studio guest them as we go begin the discussion shortly. Firstly, I want for welcome MARCELLA SAMBA from the National Elections Watch, new, when a coalition of about 400 civil society organizations them. And there this morning for Can Talk to listeners them, but wait make it important for let everybody ensure so them come on and register from the 3rd of September to the 4th of October when NEC don't put in at the time for the registration. Good morning and welcome to the program, Madam Samba.
Good morning, Mabel, and good morning, Sierra Leone.
And also in the studio, we get a representative from the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone, because when we talk about voter registration and anything gets to do with election business, we can't go ahead without somebody from the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone. We get at the studio this morning, Raymond A.N. George. We come out na ECSL for can tell una waiting comprise of this exercise and waiting you supposed to do when you identify your center on the 3rd of September to the 4th of October when at the registration period. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning and good morning the Sierra Leoneans and the electorate of Sierra Leone.
Maybe quick before you come to the guests, how prepare you day for the registration?
Of course, say are already prepared because that's make we decide as an institution for ensure say we listeners, followers and the public at large then self gets ready because we just get a day to the start of the registration process. Now that make we show say we prepare for this, and as an institution we designed this program this morning for Can Talk just on education when it comes to voter registration, Musa. And I hope so you say ready.
Oh, yes, of course. And I overheard you say, okay, Saturday night you dey register.
Of course, the very first day. The very first day.
All the best.
Yeah. So as we start the discussion at the program this morning, we start from the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone, NEC, where Raymond George then at the studio this morning for tell we waiting, get for happen that day, and how ready next the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone self be, because we just get a day to the beginning of the registration process. We go throughout till October 4th. But as we say, now a public education we do today na the program for educate the public, but the importance of registration and waiting will get for happen. Let me just start with you, Raymond George. We come out na ECSL. Start first for tell listeners them. Sometimes somebody the way they listen, but it don't hear voter education, voter registration, and all the process them we neck be done they do. But sometimes no. Waiting at this voter registration. Let we start the waiting at voter registration where it can pa election business.
Thank you very much. Fambuldem na Salon, the commission, they conduct this voter registration exercise. We as an order know it will start from the 3rd. The first phase will end on the 17th, where we will open 1,815 voter registration centers them across the country. Then the second phase will begin on the 20th of September. It will end on the 4th of October. Now, waiting for voter registration. Now, we all know, say, where you want to conduct free, fair, and credible election, it starts first of all with identification of the people we get for go make the decision for go vote on polling day. So the law give the mandate to the Electoral Commission for take people in personal details them, for put them in a register we call a voter register, so that we go able for use that register day only for the purpose of voting. When I know say that you get rights to your personal details. Nobody no go meet you in a street, he go ask you say, give me your name. Who say you come out? Who's telling born you? Who don't mama and papa? No, except the law. And I want for assure una say una not afraid, because what they ask una for una personal details and so now only for let una go able for vote on election day. Person will come meet you say, hey, I want to give you me the details of this person or that person day because I want to go find them. No, Police says no get right for can ask we for give them any personal details for anybody. So one for first of all assure and say wait till they collect from una na the law na mandate we for do am, and the law say we for only use them for let people go vote on polling day. So this is the process we go start on the 3rd, this coming Saturday.
You talk about details we want to ask from the people who want to register. What are some of the details and the questions they want to ask from them?
Okay, thank you. We ask for one, your name. And we'll talk of your name. We ask you for your first name. Like me, my first name na Raymond. You go ask if you get any middle name. I will tell you say Ayodele Nathaniel. We go ask you for your surname. We na George for me own case. We go ask you for your date of birth. We go ask you for your mama and papa name. We can ask you for your telephone number. We go ask you who you tap. And we go take your picture. We go take your fingerprint. Now, this one, I want to let people they know say, some people they will not go need for go through all the one in the because already your details day. As long as you don't go through that civil registration, that last election we been do. Remember, when we take on our details them, we get a database day. So we don't need for ask you again. People don't go fear say now long term then they go take the centers. They know when you go there, any of the details and did in the database. If you did it, we will ask you for give you telephone number. If you've been put them at the last registration, it's easy, all the details then will come. If we ask you if you get any other paper we NCRE can give you, like that paper card, our card we can give you where you picture the pan, or we'll ask you for car with that slip where they can give you, or that confirmation receipt where you get any one pan they bring come, we'll be able to process you faster. You know, go take boku time na the center.
So, Mr. George, this one trick is small. You just make mention, say somebody will be in votes 2018, or you will don't go through the NCRA process. Not go spend too much time like the one way not ever do any of that. They like more of them when they were just not 18 or go for 18 before the election. So if they want the way don't go through NCRA, let's say for example, maybe don't go through the NCRA and have been votes 2018 as well, I still need for go na the center that day.
Yes.
The reach for go register.
The answer is yes. I will explain. Now I may also the talk about it for go, but if you get voter ID card, safe go with them.
Okay.
Now you need for go there because as Sierra Leone we law not make voting compulsory. So therefore we own registration, voter registration, not to compulsory. But you get for go for show say yes you willing. Now voluntary process, but you for go, you say yes I don't come for show willingness. Say I go on for let me name, then I register and I go on for vote. Now yeah, the center where they go now yeah I go on for vote on the day for elections. So that make everybody for go. And we they say person go do it for a company. You dey go there in person. Now you say self the go there, then you go through the process. As I say, the process will be simple if you go with them documents and you name them at the database. Now we target two sets of people. Them. One, the one we name they already in the database where we get. Then two, the one we name no day at all. We mean say you not being registered at all on the last registration exercise. So that make you find out say we will get two kits at the center. One we call them the VVK, that are the voter verification kit. Him gets the information for every eligible Sierra Leonean where they are the civil registry, we will be 18 years on the day of the election. Now, when you go with any of them card in there, it's easy for search for you. Immediately you put your fingerprint or you give me your phone number or put on there, or you give me any other details where you then at the slip where you go or the ID or the voter ID card. Your details all they appear on the screen. As they appear there, so the registration officer will read them out loud one for you. He will call your name, he will call your papa name, call your mama name, he give you your phone number if you did it, he give you all your address all. If you verify, say yes, all things correct, then they will place you into the register for that center. Where means say on election day, that same center you will get for go back for go cast your ballot.
So, Mr. George, if possible they listen, you don't make mention earlier, say we the term reach for the registration when are September 3rd to October 4th, when they're going to then censor them. If you not get that voter let me say he been vote 2018, but that in card they be done loss. He supposed for go day, waiting if for Ghana and.
It's supposed for go. We the target 100% of eligible Sierra Leoneans. 100% of the people that we qualify for votes, they inside this register. So if you not get non-document at all, it not mean say we know the register. You go through the process, you get fingerprint, you get your telephone number. If you been put inside it, you get other details that we go give. Then go search for you. Then you go see your picture, you see all your details. They're all there on the screen. They read out for you, you verify them. But we don't want for make we take long term. Make people not spend long term day. I make we encourage people and say, for let you time short, let you go through process easy one. Go with them documents the word I mentioned. So.
All right, if you just tune in, that voice we listen to so na Raymond A.N. George, a commodity na the Electoral Commissioner Salon, today na the program where they look inside the voter registration exercise where they begin September 3rd to October 4th this year. Later in the program, Mr. George go get for tell una where they listen, also una they expect una centers and get for day, and the period of time where they go for take like the center they open, they close, all that details you will get for get them inside the program.
The program is still listening to now. Good morning, Salon, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Do send you concern on 0779819181 and also on our Facebook page. We will read them out to we studio guest them. Any concern we get as we get ECSL now the studio and also civil society. We will read our concerns then to them. Well, I want to welcome we other studio guests inside the program. We are MARCELLA SAMBA, Chairperson National Elections Watch, a coalition of about 400 civil society organizations. We concern about election business. Good morning once more and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
Okay, we don't get from neck. Then they talk about the Electoral Commission. Then they talk about the voter registration where they start on the 3rd. As somebody from the National Elections Watch and the chairperson, we will talk about registration. What is the importance of registration as a citizens inside electioneering process?
Okay, so I just mentioned very quickly that for Salon, in the law, because election no they happen outside the law now in the guide election. The law give mandate to one institution, and by law the Electoral Commission for Salon is mandated for deal with election in this country. You talk about registration and what to make it good for less citizens participate in registration. I think I want to underscore the point, say all the instruments them on democracy and political rights we Salon don't sign up to. Whether the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, the African Charter on Democracy, Elections and Governance, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, all their covenants then they emphasize the right to political participation of citizens. And their rights then they manifest in a 3 points where I get for tell una fumble them, and also I go get for tell una say the 4th point where they deal with your own Public Elections Act na Salon 2012, where now go be the legal framework we get for use for the voter registration. Now all the inconveniences and if we all law na Salon where they talk about election, give citizens the right for participate, and that right there is limited to all Udana adults. So we talk about universal adult suffrage. Now, the 2nd point. So it means say all Udana all 18 years and all Uda on the eve of the 18th birthday before June 24, then go down, turn 18, then get right for go register. And the 3rd one, the law say not to compulsory, it's in a voluntary. So you will present yourself now the registration center, now you then the capture, not to compulsory. So the difference between civil registration, for example, because some of them they talk say, but we just don't register. So now they say for register back. So the difference between civil registration, where they make you a citizen of your country, that national civil registration process where you've been go through, it register you as a citizen of Sierra Leone. This particular process where the EC get for conduct, because I just don't say that they no more get the mandate inside the laws of Salon for conduct election. na voluntary process. Now when you appear, now then the documents, you details, just like where Raymond don't say, they collect all that information they about you full name, you gender, you address, you date and place of birth. They will collect all that information they by law and then say this person would all register and for be voter for the June 24 election. So for them, basically I will tell you, say one, now you right for participate, and once you don't turn 18 or you will be 18 on the eve of June 24th, 2023, make them let you show up na the center where they go open near you host. You know what to do with the emphasize near you host, because beaucoup time kusaskin day where campaign election people anxiety, people they push, people want for go vote quick. So when you do near you host, you vote so you go shuffle one at you host. So fan sign near you host and go register. And again, I want for mention say this time the Electoral Commission don't talk say the center will be open in phases. 210, and then will open them inside the locality. So people get for watch for the center where they close to them, because half sets will open for 15 days as per law. That's what they law talk. That one day you now make her emphasize say most of the thing them they talk about elections, you get for common statutory requirements. Waiting the law say now the Electoral Commission for follow. Now make quick you watch the law and say this thing the Electoral Commission do in accordance with the law, and if they not do in accordance with the law, then the problem go there. So 15 days then we open the center and we go encourage people them for council. But I want to underscore the point open. The center, the public election say the center for open. And when the center open, it symbolize so many things. It means say when citizens then go, then for literally, then for see and say open, then for able for access the center. So an open center and a transparent center, then for able for understand what's in the do na that center day. So you want for capture me details. Citizens forget information prior to when they go na the center. Now openness mean in an election. They forget information waiting na the documentation where I for care go, where for enable me for register. The good thing is that the EC don't say people for carry with the documentation. Me go advise say prepare yourself, carry with your documentation. But if you not get still come, because they don't say if you not get still come, they get evidence. They don't train them people there out for capture you detail. So open center self care for be accessible.
So like how you don't say according to the law, not so by force, now voluntary. For willing say I want for votes, and that make I go the part of this registration where they start on the 3rd of September to the 4th. Of from the 3rd of September when at this Saturday when they come to October 4.
Exactly.
Even though not to by force, you for willing for go there. But some citizens them they way at times can say they can so busy with them work, them busy with waiting, they're not interested in politics, business or whatever. You're not a person where don't they work. When we look at you CGG parts, you don't they see waiting they happen and don't they comment about governance and all. And then you say now from them parts and they if you miss them, you're not able for votes and register. For register for let you vote for the right person, now the problem can start. So as citizens them, why make them for make sure say them be part of this registration process?
Maybe that's really a perfect question, and you so sum them up very well. You know the problem. In fact, we in a national election watch, we voter education for this season. You know even the target ordinary citizen. We can say ordinary citizen, we can categorize them. The one that we know disability the rights, the one that we know within our rural communities. In fact, we don't find out say then they really participate. You know that they really know they understand what's in their happen. Now people there within the middle class. Because now then disability the rights. We'll watch the spoiled ballots them, the void ballots them, the ballots the way people then they sign pan. Now post to disability the rights they sign. It means say at some point they don't get the information as to waiting, because I say now the rights for participate. Some they participate late in the process, then lately now they will catch up say, oh, so election they happen, I want for be a part. Then go can late in the process and they're not going to be empowered with the requisite information for guide them participation. So what we do in the National Elections Watch, you go down see and they go around, we say things to remember quick, and then when that particular point, now people the way they read the rights with the targets. For let them read. At least they will able for picking their phone and read and quickly say, now this I get for do. But because the communities, a lot of people, they reach out to the communities. We don't see community participation. Even when they turn prints, then they use, then they do it correctly. But the one that way they read their rights, like me and you, because we not done design programs then for targets then that they can miss out in the process. And then people then they quick and don't tire about political processes. We'll talk about political participation, then they gain squeak. And inside election we'll call them voter apathy, where you get a class of people there, they say, but me, I don't tire for vote. If I wait in election, they do for me. I dey cater for my own life. I dey cater for what I need. I no need for go vote. But now you right. I don't talk and say we get 3 fundamental features of this. We get rights for participate. Now you right as an adult, you know, for let the election be conducted within that parameters, and then a voluntary effort. That side they will not go able to force you, but we're able to convince you, say, as a good citizen, you get for show up at the center and you need the right information. So if you not get access to information, we get that information the way they circulate, and we want to encourage the middle class people, people the way they work in a bank, for example, companies, then they sit down for hours, then they focus on the work. Them now they for pay attention to public information. So now them people then they we really need for design processes then for enable them for participate. The other category we really can tire with processes then now the young people, especially the first time voters then. You know, the thing that way they capture the young people attention is different. Political processes not really capture their attention. People then get for reach out to them and convince them, say they need for car register. So we not left them out of the process. Tailor-made, now I make us say access to information fundamental for any registration or electoral process. So we need for tailor information for the young people, especially the first time voters them. I like the fact that EC don't put saying, well, I say EC now the former neck I recall family then I recall EC so. EC don't put say where una the turn 18 una birthday now the next from it up June 24, 2023 you get rights for camp. So now specific and tailor-made message that one day where they target first time voters in that category day. Because as I say, young people then get their own information where they want for look at, they not really get information where na public information where then they excited about. So we get for do their own program separately, we go target and mobilize them for participation. And also I want for talk about vulnerable groups, especially persons with disability. Right? So then get extensive tailor-made messages. One category of people where they get left out in all of this education for the registration process and other processes now the people that were deaf, people that were not a hearing, even when they see like why they talk so narrate you. You know where would they get this education? Yes, we did live on Facebook, but do we have a sign language interpreter where they translate what they say? So we get a community of people where deaf where we could capture this information. I think say some of them things they are so for able for integrate them. Even with the one that we're in our wheelchairs, for example, we get for make access for them because the centers then get for be accessible. So when we talk about open centers, it's not just about the center for open, but if we take into effect unique information, unique process system pattern where they capture different groups.
We get for can engage ECSL on them provisions then they, but earlier where they make you statements, you make mention of the middle class we then can take election process lightly, especially registration. And when you look at this class of people, most times they're in the formal sector and they engage in office work them. During this period of registration, what in new things say now the role where offices them for play for ensure say then staff them gets access or get time for go register that we willing for them.
So in fact, you say the point well, Musa, because even the period of the registration, 7 to 5, this is not the period where in fact they are fully engaged in their activities. So then therefore make room and time for let them do their business during weekend, for access the center then during weekend. Because at 7 they will be ready and rush for go work. At 9 they for don't seated in the days. At 5 Sunday off even after 5. Because if you off after 5 o'clock, not to 5 o'clock, you step out of your office. You go step out of your office after 5, center go don't lock. So then get for no say the center they open during weekends, and then get for make their way to the center they and for go register. But we don't even write to the National Elections Watch. We don't write to the corporate entities. We are going to the banks. We are going to the various companies. We want for going to the facility during their lunchtime on the break period. Let's talk to them on civic participation in political processes. Because if we say everybody they left handle, certain category of people, the way, for Canada, the process and participate, make a difference, work for the country, they are not excited about participation. They work not, they give them chance for participate. The communication around the election just centered around certain categories of people. So we not get really a broad-based participation. Because imagine a banker engaging, for example, on electoral processes, or on governance processes, it will bring a new perspective what a person will bring. It will begin to talk about financial issues. And at that kind of thing, until interested, will get time for inject that kind of perspective into electoral processes. So therefore really entice them and mobilize them for getting involved.
Okay, thank you very much. Continue for stay with me inside the program. My name is MARCELLA SAMBA, chairperson, National Elections Watch New, a coalition of about 400 civil society organizations.
The program Good Morning Salon, they continue from that reports where Kabia put together from the Look in Town and Colbert community. We come back now the studio to the studio guest them, and I come over to Raymond A.N. George. We come on the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone, ECSL. We they talk about the voter registration exercise where they begin on the 3rd of September, this coming Saturday to October 4th this year. You don't begin to talk about waiting, people in for Kergo. Now the center, the day where the registration they start for the voter them when at the 3rd of September this Saturday when are next tomorrow. But let we look at the phase them. You see now 2 phases in this process here so, and you see when I don't get about 1,815 center them. Let we just look at the first phase and the second phase. How una separate them?
Thank you very much, Mabel. Fumble them, as I've been mentioned earlier. I say we do the first phase on the 3rd to the 17th. Now you will see the second phase will start on the 20th. We mean say the 18th and the 19th. We will not talk about them. I can't tell now what will happen that day. Say we go for backup the data, we go for wrap up, backup them to a drive, we will go for transfer them into the server. Then we will also go for collect the machines them back for redeploy them now the 1,815 centers we go open in the second phase. So we for also make sure say we program them. We go for change, for example, the center codes them so that we not go get somebody will register in a center 101015 in name go appear 01120. No. We will make sure say we put the correct center codes them so that the new side way the machine get for go. Already the capture day will be placed at the correct center with them in day. Now, before I go further, I also want to underscore the fact that say this register will develop so yes, now for vote, but people have also know. Say we get certain jobs them in this country, certain work in day, where they go ask you if you name then at the voter register. So not only come out say I can register or I know the register because I'm not going for vote. Come out, can do them. We don't have to leave anybody behind. We don't have to make anybody name left out of the register. So come, so on the 14 will smile on you tomorrow. They will call you for any important job where go require you for be a registered voter. So you will find out, say, no, we'll miss the opportunity. If you name the day, you will still go there and get your details.
So, Mr. George, then center about 1,815 cents in a different parts of the country. For we will be done the votes. Now the same side in the center day or una change some parts? The
center, we will go around, we do what we call GPS mapping of the centers. And we always the sell on say, we will get 3,300 centers. But because complaints may come, people in the Gom will say some centers they differ. So other people in the Gom will say the centers subsided, they overcrowded. The commission in the wisdom been done add 10% to the existing centers and they've been there. So now we get 3,630 centers. When that make we talk about 1,815, we half of them. Now the good thing is that every district they display the center list.
Because I ask you, person go no sign center day.
Every district they display the center list. And also, we dey make sure say we get stickers them who they put na every center. If the center close, if you go there, we tell you say this center close, it will be open on the 20th. So just go any side within here. The district then we decentralize the education. So now when they talk now, they talk about 1,815 centers. When the districts then they do that, then they talk specifically of the number of centers we then get. So for example, one district will talk about 330 centers. So then they make sure say everybody know in center way if we go. And also we want to make people they know. Say with the open centers now all the 446 wards them across the country. If a ward gets 10 centers, for example, this first phase now 5 they open. The second phase will open the other 5. Why will they do them? Because one person register at the ward where you did. Because they say we open all the centers then at this ward today, in this first phase, they will close, we'll go open another ward, you will move from where go register and no. We make sure say every ward we open centers them in every phase. So that if you miss this one, you be able to register at the same ward where you did, and the other center we will open. Now we also they make sure say we start on weekend. At the third we start now weekend, na Saturday. And if you work in a bank or you work in any office way na Monday to Friday, you go work, you off 6 o'clock or you off after 5. We they open the center then Saturday. We will get the 3rd winner on Saturday. We will get the 10th winner also on Saturday. We get the 17th winner, the last winner also on Saturday. You give it for come out and go and do your registration. We get 2 Sundays. You go say you become a church, yes, but the 4th na is Sunday. The 11th na is Sunday. You can also come out and do your registration on then days than day. We they ensure say the centers they open 7 a.m. and it close 5 p.m. It not mean say if you go there 1 minute to 5, we would grab you. No. At 5 o'clock, we make sure say already in a line for that DD. Then go register them and then go through the process. And we don't try at least for SESAY, we involve the disabled people in this process. There's a disability song who they distribute to all media houses them, we distribute at the television stations them, where say that they do them, blind school and they do them, the amputees themselves can do the song, their own song. And we also doing the process where they do the song, we get sign language interpreter. Where in SESAY they make signs for people in for see. We not only stop that one day, we also get educational screen messages them. We go display at them banks and strictly now on voter registration messages that we will give out. There are lots of things where the commission they do. And also this Saturday for kickstart the process, we get a float parade.
Okay.
It go on simultaneously now all the 16 districts then.
Now, you talk about the provisions the Mona don't put aside for disabilities, not only for do song for them, somebody will say, but when I get any experts or specialized people them for deal with them people in our centers, them we get different disabilities and how accessible the different centers then they for then categories of people are, and what in other kind of provisions they wanna put in place for old people and also belle woman and comrade.
We look at all the one in the as the marginalized group. We also look at people who need special needs. And we make sure so we get 2 lines. 2 lines at the center. We don't teach the people, we don't train them. So when you see them, then come, you make sure say you put them at a special line, and you talk to the people, the able-bodied people, say, dear, and allow the tick, the one they have made them they go. We also get what we call the AVETOs, the assistant voter education and training officers, and all the districts them. These are people we they say nothing for us without us. And the disabled people them will they take back for letting assist and serve them people them. We also they look at centers the way we go around. We do that GPS map what tell you about. We also take into cognizance then centers the way not accessible by the disabled people them. We they put ramps now all the centers them for make sure say they're able to go and they easily access them without little or no assistance. Then they bring on board when need they sign language interpreters. Now, waiting the department is doing the electoral inclusion, then they give out the training form. For example, if you need fulfill form for somebody who in a deaf or dumb somebody, we give out the form in advance. So that they will get people that we go talk to them in sign language, and so they're waiting for do, then fill them.
Somebody where they listen to you now, they talk about RAMs them now, they place them, the voter registration centers, we're not accessible. Somebody where they listen now go wonder how ECSL go able to achieve this in a quick notice when even some government institutions not get this one.
Now, you see, when we talk about the RAMs, we can put them board. We will be able to write for go up. But I want to also emphasize this point. Now, schools, them mostly will they use. We don't get any building in this country where we see this a polling center or a registration center. These are schools. And we always talk with the authorities there. We collaborate with the Ministry of Education and other partners there, development partners there. So now we see the need for really put them things there in place. Election are just 1 day. Voter registration are just 15 days. But this picking them the way they go to the schools, the way they disabled picking them. And then they go there from where the year begin till it done. Then they go there and they use their facilities and they made them help, made them make them permanent. At least they can do some cement work or make sure they make ramps and they will be permanent. So that's when we come for can do voting or can do registration, they're not going to say we don't do this in the electoral commission will do that one day. They will not do them in advance. It did the permanent one.
Like you don't make mention, say no specify sign not in a salon. We go say this in a center outside people for register no more. Now like school them and big space them una can normally use and they una get for use. School them they expect to go for open first week September. Most likely government schools then go down open. How the schools them get for manage the two situation where registration for the go on and schools then go for it open. How na don't plan that day?
Well, this is the first time where the situation really happen. Of course, registration is a very peaceful process. I'm not expecting anybody for good day, good faith. So we get just a small corner or a classroom where they go assign. So we get MOU with Ministry of Education so that we can do our own business or our own little corner. Then the schools themselves, they go on at their own bigger space. But we make sure we make way so that both institutions, the ECSL and the schools, they will be inconvenient.
All right, continue further with me at the studio. Raymond A.N. George from the ECSL Electoral Commission of Salon. We did talk this morning, but waiting and wait you for expect where the voter registration process starts from September 3rd, when at this Saturday where they can next tomorrow to October 4th. Had they come over to the other studio guest, we na MARCELLA SAMBA SESAY, a come out on the National Election Watch New. You be done the talk about waiting make citizens supposed for participate in this process, although not so by force. Now, voluntary thing for do, where according to the law in our salon, you voluntarily for agree say you want for go register. But as we continue for look at what make it important for somebody make sure say you don't miss out from the 3rd of September to the 4th of October for go register. How this process important to election?
Okay, so we can always say, Mabel, that day they go cast the votes or ballots when at the 24th of June don't plan for the next election. That day, not to end the election. That day, now ballots no more they go cast. Before we go cast with ballot, local investments thinking on going to electoral process. So election not to just pull in the election are a series of processes. From the moment where they announce election dates, election don't start. And so, in fact, the one that we sabi about election and where they do laws around the election. So that because most of the time, the problem that we can kind of election, now because tension and kindi around the application, tension and kindi. So the laws then don't say, okay, for let people understand the process. Most of them here for done 6 months before, even the voter register. What they talk about so. The law says 6 months before the election for already. So confusion no go there. So every of them thing has to get step. The dates for don't be announced in time because in fact say now we get law inside with law books we say for example public officials then for don't resign 1 year to the elections. It means say that day for don't happen because we are way into the 1 year now. then they for the happy. So election not to the day where they go vote. A number of things that happen for the happen, and we get for now make we call it electoral cycle approach for they know exactly at every stage waiting they happen and how citizens then for able to participate at every stage. But some of the things that we Raymond talk, I want to underscore them. I like the point where say election a peaceful exercise, not to place a person for make confusion. And interestingly, that moment they will do the registration as a country, schools then they go on. And then they use schools as public facility for do the registration. Because you know go use stakeholder in facility. You know go use facility where they will brand say, oh, you know, say the person will get this host na political party functional. You know go use that facility. So na public facility you get for use and school get for go on. So the one the way they mobilize, then they organize for set confusion, then in a bad participation. So maybe when they talk about participation can be positive, it can be negative. Mobilize people then for go register, but not mobilize people then for go cause violence. One of the things that I don't see say this election season, now a season we get for be confused with this information. And they see some of the things the way people then they write. If we continue for the give the wrong information and they totally distort the process. Me one thing what you always say about fake news. News not the way na fake. If na fake, not a news. Na chaos. So if you they put this information at the public, na chaos you the cause. So then processes there, so let people refrain from putting this information. Now I make we they watch the process for make sure say the process open. And I don't tell people then when they say center then it will be open. You know only means say if we open in literary terms. Processes then the features then the way for carry. And I want for also talk to Sierra Leone and say for exercise patients. We know say elections can cause a lot of anxiety. When they say for go register, if you see belly woman, if you see woman to speaking, if you see old person they come, you know, possibly disabled, then don't give them preference. Then are people that with special need, exercise patients, not say because then people there so have been don't come before them, I know they grieve for let them register. These are all where they say society civil, society get order, society get discipline. These are things that wait for this electoral process where they bring discipline. Then category of people then they don't give them special preference and treatment because of the situation. They were not differently able people them then get for can participate. But possibly where in foot the atom, for example, not go able for team up in a line as long as you were not able body person go able for team up. So now I make you go give them preference so that they not go be disenfranchised or they not go think say, oh, the system no favorable to me and not go able for take part. And equally so, I also want for really underscore the point about the systems and processes. If we want for develop democratically, you get for go with the requisite systems and institutions. On election day or during electoral processes, everybody want for see a perfect system. Everybody want for see the elections be delivered with the highest level of accuracy and credibility. But we really challenge as a country infrastructurally. We infrastructure then challenge. One of the things that women know, the Electoral Commission we don't mention say they be not even add to the polling places, the polling center after the 2018 elections. They be don't do 10% so that some of them problems there so will be always in previous elections. In terms of distance, you know, because people then been they walk a long distance for go meet the registration centers them. And if the center from the community far, then now they get interest for go participate. So it's very important that we take note that 10% don't add to the number of centers that we've been there from last term, and equally so, as I say, we encourage people them for go participate. Maybe when we talk about participation they go with rights and responsibility. Underage no get rights for participating in this process.
That's possibly not 18 years.
Possibly not 18. I made them call it universal adult suffrage.
Say after June. Because now June,
yes,
June 24, 2023, the next forum, now the cutoff.
The eve, the watch net.
Making reference to being responsible as a citizen during election process, them, you know, this registration get for do with politics, and we get political parties them. What new they expect from political parties them during this registration process?
So now the positive participation I dey emphasize so much. I say mobilize citizens for votes. So we mobilize citizens for register so that they go able for go vote. Not mobilize them for go cause chaos in the center. Not spread disinformation. Tell them what's in, because one of the things that were very important. Elections processes are open processes. You get to write as a political party. I make a wonder really, what's in the political parties then really they discuss na the meeting there. Because you get right for mobilize people there within your party. Now you write the system make provision to go legitimate means for let una go observe the process. And if una get concerned how the process they go, una raise them concern and they. Because now una right. Political participation are a bedrock of democracy. You cannot have elections, you don't get participation. You cannot have election, you don't get political party. So let the political parties then try for understand how the election registration get for gone, and let them look at if I know say the Electoral Commission gets what they call the political party liaison committee, where the National Elections Watch self they always did another liaison committee meeting they for observe the interaction. So that platform, a stakeholder platform, where they're able for raise issue if you get concerned. So we want for encourage political parties that we imbibe a positive culture. Local society they don't move on from this tension unnecessarily. Even when people then get tension now, then they go na court. And go na court for go resolve the tension a day. And Musadan they bring me to the next point. And probably I go really want for let the judiciary of Sierra Leone. Let it brief the country, even as we go to the electoral process, the registration process, and eventually, of course, the electoral process don't begin. Let them come brief we waiting at them plan for the electoral offences court. We really want for no, because double registration is an offence. So who that don't really plan for go double register, we need the judiciary for brief the nation. Waiting at the plan for the electoral offences court, because in reality, when we talk about all of this, the Electoral Commission, now they're mandated by law, but then get critical agencies them and institutions of the state where they all very, very pertinent for let their work succeed. And for let we get peace as a people. So the Sierra Leone police get for ensure the security of equipment, people that really participate, and the officials of the process. The courts get for ensure say people they act within the framework of the law. So you when are underage we want for go register na a crime. You the where plan for go disrupt the registration process na a crime. You where they go do double registration na a crime.
All right, Marcella Samba Sisi, we'll come back to you. Just now, come over to Raymond A.N. George from the Electoral Commission of Salone. Most important in all of this discussion and the whole process, now for let people in Sabi, outside and get for go vote study. I know say the center in Boku, you're not able for name all the center in Aya. But if person they listen you now outside at the side and where if for target where you want for go register, where the process begin this coming Saturday, because not all man get the time for go and fen outside in center day. When I get any hotline or sideways, somebody go just click and no say, na me center this, na this area where they.
Okay, thank you very much, Mabel. The commission no see problems then good day. And we make sure say we don't partner with the mobile network companies then, Salone. As I talk to you, so we don't write through NATCOM to all the mobile companies them, and they don't give you a toll-free line. When we say toll-free line, a line where you call, you don't need to forget top up before you're able to make call to that line day. And that toll-free line day na 838 across all the networks. And they provide platform for the send text messages them on voter registration. They also go get text facilities them where eligible voters them or concerned people they can call and they ask questions or raise concerns, or they can even make complaints if they know say something the way we staff and they do it not correct. They can also call and do them. I make mention also of a float parade which will take place on Saturday. You know, mean say if you go register after the float parade. No, we do them for sensitize people. Then the center go open 7 a.m. But for let people are aware, see that center don't open. We go do a float parade across the country in all 16 districts. Western Rural then will start from 2 axes, the Godrich axis and the Waterloo axis. The Western Urban will start from the Eastern, Ogu Bridge, and also from Lumley. Now you will find out, say, as we go along, the mobile companies then go there with you, AfriCell go there, Orange go there, QCell go there, and then SESAY go help for make sure, say, people can get the messages them, and if we come out and take part. As I say, we want 100%. Now, I just also want for underscore waiting Mrs. SESAY been say on the political parties. Now, waiting we as a commission, they expect from them political parties in there, you know, now for make they not use this period for go do campaign, because we'll not declare campaign it. So that they will help we for preach out peace messages. As long as they go out, we want a peaceful process, because if the process is not peaceful, we're not going to achieve the goals that we don't set. As I told you earlier, we want to capture 100% of all eligible persons in the Sierra Leoneans for coming to the process. And then we also expect them to complement with effort. Not for waiting. If you go, you get your supporters them, ask them for come out and go take part in the process. Now, one good thing where Mrs. SAMBA SESAY mentioned about the process of electoral offenses. Now, we self to come out clear, let people understand. Me been doing my civil registration of Freetown, Western Rural. If I go to my hometown, Dublin, Banana Island, the VVK kit where they did, my name go there inside it. Any part you go na this country, your name go there na the VVK kit. But that don't mean say I forgo register na Dublin, I forgo register na Kisi, I forgo do am na Wellington. No. The center where I want for vote on polling day, na day I dey go.
Okay.
When I go there, look get this point that people understand them. When I go there, then they check my details by way of verification. Then they go place me in that center day. If I move from that center day again, I say I don't do it, let I go do other side. Now multiple registration, a criminal. The law go only.
Not for register to them.
No register to them. The one VVK kit that you go to, or the one center you do your registration, no go none other side again. If you attempt for go do you say the system will catch you, because as I tell you now, we're going to put all the data inside the server. We're going to do the match there, we'll do the duplication, and if you don't to them, we'll catch you. And always what we'll do is we'll ask you, say, on the 2 side or the 3 side, we don't do it. Which side really? You go alone, left your name. We'll go left and it. Okay. But you hand you over to the law for let the law handle you in terms of the criminal aspect.
Quick one. So we still guess them. We go and get from the public. We viewers on Facebook and listeners on radio on 0779819819 and also on Facebook. Mabel.
The very first one on the text line. This person they say, Mr. George, perhaps to minimize the time wasting, can we have 2 separate tables? Points, that is, one for first-time voters and the other for those who already have details to be processed faster? A question where they ask.
So this one they say, Mr. George, if the registration starts with me na Freetown and I transfer na new location outside Freetown, I get a right for register and I replace back?
Abubakar Kone na Facebook they ask say, good morning. Good morning to everyone in the studio. I am presently outside of the country. What is the provision made for us? Thanks.
This is Sandy Rogers on Facebook. Mr. George, please tell me if I can register in Freetown and vote only for president in Kenema if I traveled prior to election day.
Mystic Nadwazak say the registration process is very important because it is the qualification process for one to be part of the general elections in 2023. Let's us be part of the process and also encourage our loved ones to go and register. Sign interpreter is another major challenge, especially for persons with disabilities.
This one they say from Abubakar Khan on our Facebook page, is there any online facility for online voter registration for people outside the country?
The final when we go look at the person they ask say, is the 88 toll-free line, will the 88 toll-free line give us the location of where we should go and register?
Well, that's from the text message them we come to we studio guest them, but quick one, this one from Albert Fuji say it's a requirement by SSL law for voter registration to be done in their localities and where they are required to vote on the polling day. Please let them confirm so to avoid overvoting.
We'll start with you, Mr. George, for response to them people in concern there.
Okay, thank you very much, Texas. At least we know say yes, the message they go through because the response. Now, this person they ask if not two tables then go there for one for first-time voters, the other one for old people. Now, let us quickly answer that one day. Now we say we get possibly in the database. We mean say you go through the last registration exercise. That one then a verification and the placement. Now, if your name not there, it means say you not been registered the last time, and but you will go first at the VVK kit. I say we get 2 kits. Go at the VVK kit, you will put your thumbprint. If your details not there, the screen will show blank. We mean say your details not there in their database. Then we'll send you go to the second desk, where na the NCRA person go there. Then at the VIU kit, now you go use voter identification unit. And one thing you go use for capture your details, you will fill form like how we fill them for the civil registration. It will register you, then it will give you a slip. Before you go back to the VVK kit, then you go through the registration process. So in reality, yes, now 2 days go there, and the first time voters or also without being registered it, go there and do them. Now, if your address don't change, yes, then get certain things then go change for you. Like me, as I tell you now, when I've been there at Freetown here. Now I don't move. I can go and tell and say I don't move, and I change my address. Then go change as long as you provide proof of residence, we then go ask you for. Then they can change. But certain things they not go change at all. Will not go change my name from George to Kamara. It's not possible.
If
that woman we don't married, you count your marriage certificate. Yes. I not go change my date of birth. I not go tell you say now I born 1966. Now I go change them to 1968. No. Then they don't change it at all. So people therefore know that. The diasporans them, we say we register in person. If you want to register, gauge the time where the center go open near. Also, say you go available on polling day. You travel come, you can register. We know they register online. We know they allow people to register for posting.
Somebody say if that 88 number,
yeah,
if you call them, if you go able
to
the center.
Yes. Now the sign language interpreter will try to engage them as best as possible for make them go help you for cater for the special needs of people in there. No online registration. Come as Freetown if you want to register, and then we will allow you for do them in person. Now 838 line activated. Yes. They set up a room where between 8 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock evening time, they can be able to respond to our messages them or our concerns them. Because we know they keep people in our office after 6 o'clock or put them in for off.
Quick one.
Then they will do it before 8 o'clock for the tool.
Quick one, announce the toll-free line again.
838, the toll-free line from any network.
Okay, Raymond A.N. George, Director of Media and Communication at ECSL. I can't be other studio guest with MARCELLA SAMBA CC from the Chairperson National Elections Watch. She don't listen from the text message. Them quick one you take on them.
So very good questions from the listeners. It shows that they follow the program, and the questions they're very appropriate. National Election Watch just train observers, and we devised a very simple way for communicate the how the voter registration process get for talent. When they go now the polling the registration center, we can call on simulation exercise. And I want for use that same method for communicate to citizens. I will tell them, say we did stage 2 of the process. Now, so we'll tell them. Most of we dey stage 2 of the registration process right now. Waiting that one they mean. It means say stage 1 been done some time ago. Stage 1 of the registration process. Now when them be open, the registration and confirmation process by NCRA, we go confirm all we data them. Now it have been stage 1. And that process, they not to all man be able for do am. Some people are really going at the center for go do am, but they not be able for confirm them details. Some people at all, then details not even there in the system. Especially they want them we just done 18. So because you not to be you're not going at the system. But the point at issue right now is that data they are available. That data they are available and you go then at the different kits then. That's stage 1 of the process. But if you not been there, sometimes you been there oversee, like how they say, the one that where they oversee, who can't for can register, you they come between a stage 2 of the process. You go na the polling, the registration center. When you go na the registration center, they find out say you name no day, you they go back to stage 1, you go begin before you can join now na stage 2. But the assurance where we don't watch how the system they go, the assurance will give Sierra Leoneans them once you qualify for vote, as the law don't say, who don't qualify for vote, obviously not qualify for register. Person wey head not correct, but the law no get a right for participate. You wey don't turn 18, you wey na Sierra Leonean, na the qualification in that one day. Or you wey not get crime, you can make up. As long as you go to the center, the system make provision for you for able for register. Whether you name be then at the civil register or not, process day we will able capture your details. So let citizens them look at the process system and participate. Let them just make sure say they show up. And we go order further for encourage thing. If you get documentary evidence, go with our one team. Not wait till you get a crisis at the center, then you get for go back, for go take you either your voter ID card, the last one, or your passport. Anything we would identify you say this person has to MARCELLA SAMBA, for example, take and go now the registration center, one thing for go register. And then the last thing I want for talk, make sure say you come on at the center with what we call authentication. Then go get for you go get forget to sleep where you come on with. Some people kill or you pass mark, then go reach at the center, then forget something and where they can go at the table. No, make sure say when you go there, all the way you can go when I document the evidence, you collect them, and what you get for collect from the registration officials, then back you collect them before you move out of the center. So on behalf of National Elections Watch, we wish we have a peaceful registration process. We really want for the elections to be excited. We really want for the elections to be something where they gladly for go participate. We don't want for see elections as something where they threaten we. We don't want for see elections as something where they cause anxiety and people begin afraid to say, hey, election they come here for one common at this country. No, let election be something where they gladly for participate.
Right. Many thanks for joining the program this morning. That voice in MARCELLA SAMBA SESAY, the commander of the National Election Watch New will be the talk about waiting citizens supposed for do as the voter registration process they begin September 3rd when are next tomorrow Saturday to October 4th. But as we wrap up the program, Raymond George, you commander ECSL, we not get time with the wrap up the program now. But whose assurance they left with the listeners and say ECSL with them they call neck ready for this process because our next tomorrow it starts.
Fumble them, we dey on top gear now. As I talk to owner, we don't train done, and now we deploy the machines and the personnel. Then we go conduct the voter registration exercise. We will do it today. We will do it tomorrow. By Saturday, the center 7 o'clock. Not forget, just go there. Center near you. We open. You will get the people in there, and also the listing around. We get the Ward Electoral Education Committees who don't form. This now committee the way now people the way that peer educators and they go around for educating now. Right. Inside they will get town criers then with 2 of the way go there amongst that group there. Then go tell you now who center they open, the tell where they go open for and the number of days then they will remind you now. See this center open go there once and go register and 4 or 5 days left. Then they will tell you who stay in the next center go open the other center. But just go to the school or the center where you been the vote near you. You will see notice go there for tell you whether the center open, the tell we go open, or the while we open now, it will tell you when and it go close. Okay. So go there, and with the car around with the jingles, the billboards, and there around the banners, they're all there. We already get boats. Logistically, we get boats for the riverine areas. Right. You go interest to now, we are the commission owner now. We don't deploy one to Bond area, the other one go in our western area, Moritong. So whatever distance we're able to cover on both by sea, by land, and air no more no approach it. But I'm sure we'll get there. Family owner, thank you for listening to it, and on Tata, we will meet again.
Well, in this edition of the program, go left on a plenty take it to the studio guest them. We will get MARCELLA, SAMBA, SESAY from New and Raymond George from the ECSL. One follow and also the democracy will continue then kind program here, so to the voter registration process done and go into the election proper. We go for the beginning and different program them for educate the public as we enroll for ensure so we continue for support democracy in a salon. Well, now this edition of the program, Good Morning Salon, go left on a plenty thank you to the production team. Michael Sambola and Alex Lawrence Kroma produced the program. DJ Cliff Giwi, technical support. Samuel Hompa, make on us live on Facebook. Until then, Mabel Kabade say goodbye.
And Musa Kamade say have a wonderful day.